Okay, let's dive right in. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are taking a look at what seems like a super simple Hindi nursery rhyme, specifically a wildly popular Zappy Tunes track you can actually find at the YouTube link in our description, https youtube.be/zkom1cti4 sci fjdc2i-lfxn. We're going to decode it today, because, when you look closely at the source material, it's not just a catchy song. It's actually a really profound narrative reflecting a very modern parenting crisis. Let's pull back the curtain.
Here's how we're going to break this down. First, the endless crying crisis. Then, how nature fails to soothe, followed by traditional entertainment falling short, the failure of sweet bribery, the ultimate digital pacifier, and finally, the modern parenting mirror. Let's get to it.
Part 1. The Endless Crying Crisis. Let's establish the stakes.
Right off the bat, the text drops us into a super high-stakes scenario with this relentless refrain, Chota baby ro raha tha, which literally translates to the little baby was crying. And what's wild here is how this line operates as a repeating chorus. It brilliantly creates this intense atmosphere of panic and urgency, The baseline state of this whole ecosystem is just pure distress, and it absolutely demands an immediate intervention.
Moving on to Part 2, Nature Fails to Soothe, the Elephant's Attempt. So, according to the text, the very first character to step up to the plate is an elephant, or hathi. Hearing all this crying, the elephant rolls up and brings a small spider, a choti muckety. Conceptually, the elephant is trying to use natural curiosity to distract the infant. It's a classic parenting strategy, right? Hey, look at this cool, moving creature from the natural world. Look over here instead of focusing on whatever's upsetting you.
Well, spoiler alert, the natural world completely fails to soothe. The text explicitly states the baby did not like it. The spider gets rejected, and boom, immediately that panic-inducing chorus is back. The little baby was crying. Nature just wasn't going to cut it.
Part 3. Traditional entertainment falls short. The bear's attempt.
Hearing this ongoing crying, a bear, Blue, shows up. But the bear doesn't just bring another animal or some random object. No, the bear escalates things by bringing in human entertainment, specifically a madari, which is a traditional Indian street performer. This is a massive step up in effort. I mean, we've gone from a simple bug to a fully curated interactive performance designed entirely to captivate an audience.
And here, we actually get a really fascinating mixed result. The transcript notes that the baby did like it by Sanaya, so traditional performance art successfully captured the child's attention. But it was super fleeting. Literally in the very next line, that overarching crying chorus returns. The baby liked the show, sure, but the underlying crisis? Totally unresolved.
All right, Part 4. The failure of sweet bribery. The monkey's attempt.
Enter the monkey, affectionately called Bandar Mama. The monkey hears the crying and swoops in with rasgullas. Now, for those who might not know, a rasgulla is this incredibly popular, super sweet, syrup-soaked Indian dessert. This is basically the ultimate trump card in the physical world. We're talking pure sugar, pure comfort food, aimed entirely at appeasing the kid through taste and instant gratification. So, that makes exactly three. Three distinct, escalating physical world strategies. We tried the wonder of nature, the engagement of traditional performance art, and finally, just straight-up bribery with sugary sweets. And the result? The baby didn't like the sweets either. All three methods have completely, unequivocally failed. At this point, the crisis is absolutely peaking.
Which brings us to Part 5, the ultimate digital pacifier, Papa's solution.
This escalating crisis has now thoroughly exhausted all physical avenues. The animals, who basically represent the outside world and traditional coping methods, have done literally everything they can. And it is only at this point of total failure that the father, Papa, finally arrives on the scene.
Just look at the contrast in these offerings. On one hand, we have the diverse, tangible interventions of the physical world, a spider, a street performer, sweet treats. And against all of that, we have Papa's singular, modern offering, a mobile phone. And he doesn't just hand the phone over, right? He specifically plays a Zappy Tunes video. The digital world has officially entered the chat.
Now, look at this stark contrast in the results. Nature failed. Entertainment, a mixed result that ultimately failed anyway. Food failed. But when Papa introduces the mobile phone playing the digital video, the entire narrative structure breaks. That endless, repeating chorus of the crying baby, it finally stops. The digital screen instantly succeeds where the entire physical world fell short.
Finally, Part 6, The Modern Parenting Mirror, Analyzing the Shift.
What this source text perfectly captures is a totally new paradigm, which we can define as the modern pacifier. In this narrative, the mobile phone isn't treated as a communication device or even a learning tool. It is deployed as the ultimate behavioral regulator. When all the patience, creativity, and resources of the physical world are totally exhausted, the screen is the guaranteed off switch for distress. It's the absolute trump card in modern childcare.
And that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. We've just watched a nursery rhyme systematically discard nature, art, and food in favor of a smartphone video. It really begs the question, in the digital age, has the screen become our only lullaby? I mean, how deeply have our digital habits reshaped the most fundamental, ancient human interactions? Like a parent just trying to soothe a crying child? It is definitely a fascinating thing to think about the next time you see a screen being handed over to calm a tantrum. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gave you a whole new perspective on the media we consume every day.